Hi, this is Jenny. I am not sure if I can do this justice, so I'm a little nervous. This is the first time I've been nervous doing a book review because this book has so much information in it, and it's one of those things that you read, and well, for me, I'll just talk for me. Hey, Michelle and Beth, welcome. It's one of those books that I read it and I'm like inspired by it and I love it, and then when I try to talk about it, I might not be able to explain it all correctly. But I feel like we should talk a little bit about it because there is some powerful stuff in here. This book is called Anatomy of the Spirit by Caroline Myss, The 7 Stages of Power and Healing. Now, she wrote a lot of books. Another one that I read was Sacred Contracts, read that a long time ago. This book is all about energy healing, and the reason I wanted to talk about it is because there is an entire chapter about the 4th chakra, which is chest. Okay, so that's us. That's if you're healing from breast cancer, that's what you're healing from. The way she came up with her ideas is that she was looking at the 3 major religions. They all have 7 chakras for Hinduism, 7 sacraments for Catholics, 7 branches of the Sephirot in the Kabbalah. I'm not familiar with that. I'm just repeating it. And that's the Jewish religion, of course. And so she was trying to do a map of the body spiritually and energetically using these 3 religions with the 7. And what she came up with was more of a philosophy of healing. I'm going to take these off, even though I love them. My friend gave them to me. Love, faith, and hope. I love those. They're noisy though. So what she came up with was a philosophy of healing that is based on our biology. She believes that the divine energies within us can also heal us when we unlock them. And so each chapter is based on a chakra. If you know the chakras, you're ahead of the game. So the 4th chakra is chest. I'm just going to focus on that today, but I will mention the others. The energy medicine. She says there's 3 principles of energy medicine. So some of us, I went to Lorraine Cohen. She's on here she does quantum energy healing is what she calls it. It's powerful. You can feel it when she does it. She does it distant. You don't have to go see her. She can do it over the phone. And so it's interesting to me, like, how is this working? What's going on there? And I'm sure Lorraine can talk about her specific healing, what she does. But the book is interesting because it does say there's 3 principles of energy medicine. And she talks about how all of our ailments can be cured by raising our vibration in our body. Raising the vibration, what does that mean? We don't vibration in our body. And she talks about our spiritual beings connecting closer to God. So the more you are connected to God, the higher your vibration. And the higher your vibration, the less illness that your body will create, right? So that's her philosophy. Let me read some stuff of hers word for word so I can make it more sense of it. So she talks about the 3 principles of energy medicine. The first principle is biography becomes biology. So our bodies contain our histories. Our biological health becomes a living, breathing biographical statement that conveys our strengths, weaknesses, hopes, and fears. So what you say, what you think, what you do, we already know that can cause stress, and stress can cause illness. What she says is it's the energy of all of that and what it means to our bodies physically. Biography becomes our biology. I love that. The second principle is personal power is necessary for health. And we're seeing some correlations with the other books. The last book I just did talked about stress and what your thoughts and what you do and what you watch and what you think becoming part of your health. And the second principle, personal power is necessary for health. The last book I did talked about taking control of your health, taking responsibility for yourself and your health, and advocating for yourself brings you healing. So the second principle for her is personal power is necessary for health. In other words, a patient must generate internal energy to heal himself or herself. So I'm thinking that's when you advocate for yourself and you choose to heal, right? This is closely related to the third principle, which is you alone can help yourself heal. Meaning healing is a bit different from curing. And while the latter can be controlled with medicine, the former, emotional, psychological balance, is your domain exclusively. This is the part where you have full control over how things go. So what you think, what you allow yourself to feel, I guess. Maybe I'm not saying that correctly. Do you allow yourself to feel, or do you just embrace the feelings? I'm not sure. Hi, Randy. Hi, Kendra. I'm excited to see you, Randy. So there's 7 sacred truths, and they follow your chakras. The first sacred truth, that is your first chakra, is your root chakra. That's red, right? If you go by the rainbow, Roy G. Biv, we're going to Roy G. Biv it. So red is all is one. 2 is honor one another. 3, that's orange, so that's a little higher. That's like wisdom. You're under your belly button, right? 3, honor oneself. These are sacred truths, 7 sacred truths that help us help understand where, if we're violating these sacred truths, where the disease or illness or things will happen in our bodies, right? 4, love is divine power. So love, and we talked about this before so many times, especially with the Louise Hay not definition of breast cancer, but her affirmation for breast cancer is that right here is love, right? So you're giving and receiving love. And if that's not balanced, then things will happen like breast cancer, right? So love is divine power that you are giving out and receiving. Wait, did I do it right? Left. You give out, right? You receive, or right? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, surrender personal will and to divine will. So that's throat chakra. Surrender personal will to divine will. 6 is seek only truth. And 7 is live in the present moment. So 7 is the crown chakra, right? You live in the present moment. So there's so much information in this book. I don't want to do it wrong. I just want to talk about the energy healing part and the 4th chakra. And some of the things that she said really, really felt like they were powerful. So I'm just going to read a few things, and hopefully you'll get some stuff out of it too. So, okay. Disease is a deviation from your connection with God. So all of those sacred truths and where they fall in the body, when you start to deviate from the connection of God or your divine path, that's when you get sick. And she said a cure is medicine, but healing is when you get back to that connection with God. So we're going to talk about the 4th chakra. That's your green chakra. Body parts include ribs, breast, lungs, heart, circulatory system, shoulders, arms, hands, thymus, diaphragm, and it also includes allergies and upper back pain. So the sacred truth again for that 4th chakra is love is the divine power. And the statement that got to me, and I think a lot of moms have this same issue, is the what about me question. So you're giving everything out, you're taking care of everyone, you're doing what you're supposed to do. And then it's like, oh, wait, what about me? I forgot me. And so receiving as well as giving is important. Also, dealing with emotions, which I've shared with you guys. I'm a bit detached. The other one that I want to talk about is letting go of victim energy. And I think that's where that second step comes in, where you take control of your health. When you can let go of that victim energy, things change all around you. It's hard to explain. It's one of those things you can talk about and you can talk about and you can talk about, but until you do it, it's like a light switch flipping. It's like, it's like when you keep dating that same type of person, even though they seem different at the beginning, and then, oops, that's that same person. That's your energy, your victim energy, or, it could be any kind of energy attracting those people. And so when you stop the victim energy and you take power, you take responsibility, things change. So healing begins with the repair of emotional injuries. Even when you listen to the Chris Work stuff, forgiveness is part of healing. So the thing that for this chakra, for this love, divine will, what is it? The fourth chakra. What drains your spirit drains your body. What fuels your spirit fuels your body. I love that. I'm gonna put all these all these little nuggets into the comments below so you can read them. And what she talked about was all healing is possible through acts of forgiveness. And so forgiveness being the way through this to connect back with the divine love, because all the things, the resentments and stuff, it's kind of in between us and that divine connection that keeps us healthy. So she talks about energy healing for the fourth chakra being all about forgiveness work, which we're going to do. As soon as I can get Velma on here, we're going to do another TAT and any forgiveness stuff that you haven't dealt with yet. And even put in there, things I haven't thought of yet that I need to forgive. Put in the bundle. And I've had, I can't remember who told me to do it. I think it was Lorraine. She told me to do, just get a notebook and write down, like, from your childhood to now, anything that comes to mind that needs forgiveness, whether it's to forgive yourself, to forgive others, and just write it down. And the way I did it was I just wrote down like the major people in my life and anything that came up that I needed to forgive them for or forgive me for. And even like my grandma, like I forgive myself for not spending enough time with her that last, month or whatever. Things that were bothering me that I kind of hold on to. We want to put that all in the bundle and get rid of it. And she says that's part of this healing that she really wants to see. I'm going to touch on the other ones because it's interesting. When she talks about the first chakra, your red chakra, your root chakra, she talks about tribal power and how we connect. Belonging is really important for this chakra and for this thing. And it's not as much about divine connection as it is society, feeling part of a community and being part of something makes you feel, I say it makes you feel safer. That's why it's in that root chakra energy. And so when you get up to the fourth, you still have to have, right? You still have to have all the energies below it balanced. So we want to balance those energies as well. The second one is about independence and being able to be who we are and learn about the world and experience the world by who we are. And the third is your power. That's your power, right? Are you giving your power away? And think about the ways that you might do that, not even notice it. Some of the books that we've talked about have touched on this, where if you're one of those people that are just like, I don't care, what do you want to do? Whatever happens, happens, whatever, I don't care. Or if you're one of those people that has to be in control, that's the opposite of that, And so all of those chakras can get aligned. And then the fourth chakra is all about that balance of love. The angel Metatron, I don't know if you guys study angelology or you like angels. The angel Metatron is an angel that is really good at balancing energies. We pray to God, but the angels can help through that, help make changes for us. And that's the angel that I ask to come and balance everything for me now, that I know I was out of balance with that. So this book has so much in it, and I hope I made enough sense to help you guys. Let me see if I missed anything good in my notes. Okay, I missed a big thing. All right, the path to an empowered heart is also how you heal that fourth chakra. And step one is to commit to healing the source of the pain, turning inward and coming to know your wounds. So I think that is like the writing down of all the stuff you need forgiven, right? Or need to forgive or need forgiven. Step two, once you're inside, identify those wounds. And and have those wounds become your power. So this may have happened to me, but I made it through, kind of thing. And another question on the step 2 is, why might you fear healing? What are you attached to in the illness? Is it bringing you some kind of power that you can get a better way? I'm not really sure how that applies to cancer, although I know that when people are chronically ill, they do get a lot of attention, and they can use that and maybe hang on to that illness so they can continue to get that. I don't really feel like that's a cancer thing, because when you talk about cancer, it's not something that you want to hang on to, right? I think with that, they're talking more about like autoimmune or diabetes or something that's ongoing, which cancer is ongoing, but still. And how have these wounds influenced your development? So as you've grown up, as you've thought about who you are and what kind of person you're going to be and what you're going to do in the world, how has the wounds that happened to you in childhood or that happened to you when you were a teenager made you who you are? And step 3 is verbalize the wounds. Find ways you have used them to stop yourself from doing or being. And this kind of resonated with me, not kind of, but it totally resonated with me. So, and not so much that I was holding on to wounds, but I've noticed that as the mom, as the wife, as the daughter of taking care of others, I have used that to not do my own thing. So, finding, I don't know if I'm wording it right, but like when my dad was sick, I couldn't continue counseling and getting more clients because I was taking care of him, or I was taking care of my daughter. So all the things, goals and things that were a little bit scary to me that I would have loved to do, but was scared to do them. It was almost like, oh, well, I don't need to worry about that fear or that scare. I can take care of my dad, and that's a valid reason, right, of not having to move forward in my own stuff. So for me, that's what came up for me. There is a lot of questions in each chapter that she wants you to ask yourself. If you like homework or you like doing this type of stuff, this book is for you. I love getting a journal and just like getting into stuff, which is why I'm a counselor. So some of the questions that she poses for us to look at is, hold on, my bookmark didn't work. Thank you for waiting. Well, I figured, okay, here they are, sorry. So some of the questions that she posed for us to look at in this chapter, in this chakra, is, what emotional memories do you still need to heal? What relationships in your life require healing? And we did a TAT on the relationship stuff where, it's someone in your life, like your husband or your mom or your dad or your sister or your brother, where you still see them and it's still ongoing of like, you forgive them and then they still act the same way and it hurts again and then you forgive them. So we did a TAT on that. If that's something that resonates with you, I will help you find that TAT. Do you ever use your emotional wounds to control people or situations? Have you ever allowed yourself to be controlled by the wounds of another person? So are you letting others manipulate you with their stuff, with their victim energy? What fears do you have about becoming emotionally healthy? I know when I was with doing some couples counseling, I know some of the women are afraid to move forward in their spirituality and their, maturity and all of that, because they don't want to leave their husbands behind and have to leave them. And they're scared that their husbands who are not doing the same work that they're doing will just be left behind, and then they'll feel differently about them. So it is kind of scary sometimes to move forward and leave someone behind. Do you associate emotional health with no longer needing an intimate relationship? I don't really resonate with that question, but what is your understanding of forgiveness? Who are the people you have yet to forgive, and what prevents you from letting go of the pain you associate with them? So there are some deep hurts that are harder to let go of. And in that case, I think we focus on forgiving ourselves for whatever our part was in it, if there was a part in it, and continuing to work on that, just cutting that cord and, letting the distance go. What have you done that needs forgiving, and which people are you working to forgive? So that kind of sounds like a 12-step, right? Where you make amends to everyone. And are you willing to release the use of your wounds in order to open yourself to such a relationship with the divine? So those are the questions she poses for the chakra, for chakra 4. And it's the center of the human energy system. So that she's saying when you're tired, that's that 4th chakra not connecting to God. And you can get as much sleep as you like, but if your spirit is exhausted right there, she's saying you won't feel energetic until you get that fixed. And what will you do with your pain? Use it as an excuse to give fear more authority over you, or release control of the physical world over you through an act of forgiveness. So I'm going to say that again, because that was this little paragraph. It's like, it means a lot. So when you take your pain, what will you do with it? Use it as an excuse to give fear more authority over you. Like, I'm never going to have another relationship again because that person hurt me, kind of thing. Or release control of the physical world over you through an act of forgiveness, or forgive that person and move on and allow more joy and more happiness and health and all of that. So let me see if you guys have any comments. Okay. And self-love is essential to this chakra and the key to healing. So the things that we focus on as we're healing this 4th chakra is self-love and forgiveness. Those are the biggies. And what she says, and I love this question too, is if we could see the energetic consequences of our acts, what choices would we make? So, and she talks about our thoughts and everything that we do having a global effect, like, the butterfly flaps its wings on the other side of the world kind of thing. But she says that every bit of energy that we put out there affects ourselves, our health, and everyone around us, and then moves out to the global influence. So if you are taking the time to heal and do the work, you're actually healing others too. So it's not just about healing you, it's about healing the world, which sounds a little trite, but it's true. I always think of that, I can't remember what it's called. The picture of the globe, and then you see all the little points of light. Well, you are one of those points of light, right? And the brighter your light is, the brighter the world is. So I just love this book, but it's hard to talk about because there's so much, and it's mostly just questions and letting you think about how those questions feel. So I'm going to post some of the questions and some of the stuff that I said. And I feel like we could talk about this book forever. I really like it. It's not for everyone because it is kind of like grab your journal and do the work kind of book. I really, really, if you don't want to buy the book, if you don't want to do any of this, that's fine. But I really, really invite you to do the forgiveness part of it. Write down who hurt you, write down who you hurt, and put it in a bundle. And at the next time you do a TAT, let all that go, right? Because we don't want to block any connection we have with the divine, with whatever word you use for God, whatever word you use for that power outside yourself that gives you strength. We don't want to put anything between us and the divine. So forgive yourself for any part you had in it. Forgive the people that hurt you, and open your heart up for that divine love and self-love, and let it heal you, right? We can heal with love. So the cure we're working on with our medicines, but the healing that after all of this is going to come from right here. So I hope this book was, this live was helpful. And let me say the book again. It's an older book. It's from 1996. She has a bunch of books, but and she also has some really great YouTube. If you don't want to read, just there's her name right there, Caroline Myss, MYSS. Google her and just start listening to some of her YouTube talks because she's awesome. But, have a great day. I'm probably gonna put there might be a, if I can get with Velma, we're gonna do another TAT. So I will post the Zoom link if she's available. And if any of you are around, click it, join. You don't have to talk or anything when you're on the live with us. It just brings even if you don't say anything, it brings another energy to it, more power to it. So I love when people join. I wish we were a little more organized in the time that we do the TATs, but this summer with my kids home, they're at camp today. Yay. With my kids home and Velma's real busy. So it's been hard for us to have a regular time, but I hope I see you guys later on that, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.